So for 3 years, I work in the beautiful Broome in the Kimberley with Aboriginal people with schizophrenia. And using the tool of animation, because I was an animator, I get their power back, creating animation of the demons that they used to see and translate them and just give them a life through animation. And guess what? They stopped to see those demons because they felt allowed to express and process their emotions.
Welcome to episode number 58 of the 100 Successful Women, a Conversation to Inspire series. In this episode, I'm so thrilled to introduce you to a truly unique individual who bridges the world of ancient wisdom and the modern entrepreneurship. Kris Donoma, a modern medicine woman whose journey is as fascinating as it is inspiring. Born Christina Mazzocchi, Kris has embraced her Native American name, Donoma, meaning girl facing the sun, a perfect reflection of her tireless energy and optimism. From her early days experiencing mediumship and premonitory abilities to her work as a therapist in the Aboriginal communities, Kris has always had one foot in the visible world and one in the invisible. In this episode, we explore Kris' vision from a future where harmony is a daily practice and where we can harness our innate abilities for collective healing and empowerment. So get ready for eye-opening conversation that might just change your world, the way you see the world and yourself. So without further ado, let's dive into our beautiful and magical conversation coming up next. Hey, good morning, Kris. How are you doing today?
Good morning, Vivienne. It's so lovely to be here with you this morning. Nice. We are coming from this big event together. So we are like a public speaking event with Kaylee too. So I feel completely pumped. Like my energy is completely high. So I think there is not a best moment than this to have this podcast. So thank you so much to have me with you.
Thank you so much for being here, Kris. Kris is one of the guests on this 100 podcast. Most of my podcast guests was actually, I never meet them in person, but Kris is the other way around. I get to meet her last Saturday in person. I love her energy and I really love that she is just so glamorous when I see her. Yeah, I love that she is on here today with us. So, Kris, I know that your name is Christina Mazzocchi, if I got it right. But then you also got a different names as well. But before we go into your name, I did have a look at your name. There's some very special meaning behind that. But what I want to ask in this podcast, normally, the first question is, who is really Christina? At your core? I know that you play different roles, you do different things in your life, but who is really you at your core?
Well, I always say that I'm literally a shapeshifter. So all my life I was driven from a massive inner voice that said to me to go here and there. I changed so many places, I changed so many tribes, people around me, and missions in life based on this inner voice that was always telling me what I had to do, which were the next steps to take in my life. And I always trusted, even if from the outside was completely reckless. So I followed this voice and associate with creativity. So my life is constantly drawn from creativity, and whatever is my drive and my playground when I can create, where I can explore new situations and new people, new lessons to learn, my heart and myself, they're going together in the direction that my inner voice says. So I say kind of a shapeshifter.
I love that. I really love that you get to do what your inner voice telling you, right? That's not many people can do that, and people tend to ignore that inner voice. And I love that you are following your inner voice and do whatever that you wanted to do, and you are actually changing a lot of things in your life. So I did look at your website, like I've told you earlier, Kris. So from your introduction, you are a symbologist, archetypal mentor, shamanic practitioner, all these titles, all these different occupations, which I have no idea. I never heard of this before. I think a lot of people who are listening in as well, they might be wondering, what are all these titles, or what do you really do? Do you mind to explain or share with us a little bit about that, Kris?
Absolutely. So symbologist, it's because it's the main thing. So all my life in this present moment is derived from this concept of everything is a symbol. There is Carl Gustav Jung, that is an incredible symbologist of the past, to say that the reality that we perceive is half the matter, the reality itself, and half the symbol of it. So what we perceive is what is the interpretation that we give to something. So everything is a symbol for us. Whatever we live is a symbol. Even if you cross, for example, a bridge, if you are in this concept of a symbol, you can decode everything as a symbol of your inner life, like whatever you see in the outer world. So I use symbology to help people to empower themselves and to find their mission in life and to unlock their potential. So from the concept of symbology, I use symbols to heal people and to help them. So in two ways, basically. One, with shamanic treatments and shamanic tattoos. So really an intimate and deep practice. I just lead people in this initiation to themselves. I always say that my tattoos are like a key for a portal, that it just left all the things that doesn't serve the person, the client that comes to me behind, and they can embrace through this portal the version of themselves of the future that is fully in their own power and essence. And the second way to help people with symbols, it's archetypal mentoring. So archetypes and symbols, they are almost the same concept, but archetypes are the personifications of symbols. So what I used to do with my one-to-one coaching and the group that I'm creating now at the moment of coaching, it's helping people to find their archetypes inside, parts of themselves that they are the expression of their potential, make them in connection with these archetypes to empower their gifts. So the archetypes, that can be about the darkness and about the light. So understanding what are your characteristics through figures, through something that the brain can easily understand. So through symbols, like shapes, and talking with them. So a communication. In a spiritual world, for example, we can talk about guides. I connect themselves, it depends on what is your belief, but it can be seen as connecting with your guides and taking advantage of them to empower yourself in your daily life and mostly find your mission on this planet. So basically I'm juggling with these two types of missions. That is, the basement is the same, but the shape, it just take a different shape.
Wow, that's amazing. This is the first time I ever heard about that. And then I really very, very curious about that as well. So what got you onto this journey, Kris? How did you got on this shamanic and then symbologist? When did you start doing it? And how did you get on this?
Great question. Since when I was young, I was really creative. So I was constantly creating like creative situation with my friends since when I was 3 years old. So the creativity was always part of my life since when I was young. At the same time, at 8 years old, some psychic experiences kick in. And I start to see spirits or perceive spirits in my room. A long time ago in my room, someone suicided himself with a rope. I discovered later. And me and my mother together, we were experiencing this presence in my room. So I grew up in a way that my mother always not pushed me, but encouraged me to explore these psychic powers. So symbology and archetypes are really connected with the unconscious status of mind, so all the mystery of the humanity. So since when I was young, I was really connected with the mystery, the invisible of our existence. For science, we see only the 1% of the reality. What is about of this 99%? So all my life was drawn from this aspect of reality, this mystery, what is not under our eyes, basically. So in my life, little by little, these experiences, psychic experiences, just getting bigger and bigger and stronger. And the age of 23 years old, my first guide appeared to me with open eyes. So I remember the night I was sleeping on the couch of my parents with my saliva dripping on my mouth, like a really graceful image that you can imagine, right? I remember this voice of a male on my right here saying, "Your present moment contains the clues of the future moments." And I opened my eyes and there was this Tibetan guy floating on my belly, luminous with crossed legs. I was like, I pinched my arm. I was like, okay, I'm not drunk. What is going on here? I was really young, 23 years old, Western world girl, like without any support. I was like, what is going on? And from the day after, I start to predict things with my dreams from a day to another. So what he said to me, it just came as a gift. I realized later that this kind of things are happening in the shamanic cultures, that they were all around the world at the beginning of the humanity. And when something like that happened in a shamanic tribes, I was literally straight away put with the master, with the shaman of the tribe, and I will start to work on it. But because I was by myself, I was really young, really stupid, if I have to say, I start to manage this, but I was really naive. So I get overwhelmed at some point because I was predicting people from a day to another. I used to draw, so I was drawing the people that I was dreaming, and the day after they were appearing. I was overwhelmed and I say, that's it, enough. I don't want to do this anymore. My timing was completely mixed up, the present with the future, and I was not ready to work with this gift. So I say enough. And for 4 years, I was completely lost without my gifts. I just refused it. But putting my feet on Australia 4 years ago, an inner voice, even if they were far away, they were still protecting me and just communicating with me slightly. All my guides, because there are 5 at the moment, they say to me, or you go now or never in Australia. I was like, guys, at that time I was working for Disney in Europe. I was an animator. My past is an animator, as an animator. So I was working for Disney with my own team, with my own cartoon, with a beautiful house, with a boyfriend. I had to follow this voice, and I just came in Australia, left everything behind completely from a day to another, and I realized why. Because here actually, because we are here, I just met the most important, the most oldest culture on the planet, the Aboriginal culture, where the symbology is the basement of what they are. The dream time is the basement, and is exactly what is my mission. My mission was, it's exploring the dream time, because through dreams I can predict things. So I start to be with Aboriginal people in a community in Broome, and I realized that they had the same powers that I had, like predicting things, connecting with nature, seeing spirits. But the society say that they are schizophrenic, but actually it's a superpower. So for 3 years I work in the beautiful Broome in the Kimberley with Aboriginal people with schizophrenia, and using the tool of animation, because I was an animator, I get their power back, creating animation of the demons that they used to see and translate them and just give them a life through animation. And guess what? They stop to see those demons because they felt allowed to express and process their emotion instead of having it here and don't express it because the society doesn't want to talk about this kind of things. I think because it's dangerous if people, they have the power and they feel empowered to see spirits. We don't need to go to Kmart anymore, you know what I mean? So I really, in my life, with all this process, now after living 3 years in the remote area, I just landed in Melbourne because I want to learn public speaking, to talk about my experience with them, to talk about the psychic powers, to talk about all the things that we have in our soul that is not yet discovered, and it's there to be seen, is there to be to play with it as kids. It's like there is so much beyond what we can touch and perceive. So now my mission is helping people to find their own psychic powers, get back to the heart, because we are running so much in this culture, right? And inspire people with the stories on the stage. This is the main goal. But I already doing with this mentoring and these tattoos to see the invisible flourishing in the heart of people, trust the intuition that the people has, and just be led from their intuition, because it's important as the logic in this world where the logic is the only thing that we can use, or we are allowed to use. There is way more than this.
Wow. I had goosebumps listening to you, Kris, to be really honest, because like you say, we don't know what we don't know, right? And I love that you're actually on a mission to share. This is something that people in the wildest dream, people might not think about that. But speaking to you in person today, in real life, I get to learn so much about it, because like you say, it's the science is probably 1%, the 99% is something that we never tap into. And yeah, thank you so much for sharing that, your real stories. And then I know that it can be, like you say, you were still really young at the time. It was so overwhelming. But is that because your mom is also having the similar experience like you? That's why she encouraged you to do the same?
Yeah, since when I was young and we were sharing this room, we were experiencing the same things. She always say that probably it's because of me that these spirits, they were coming and she was witnessing, because she think that I'm the bridger, but actually she's a little shaman, big shaman too. Like she communicate the guides or the voices came to her in the dusk of when you go to sleep. She has the same characteristics. Even if she's not actively using it as a mission in life, but she has the same things. The only thing at 23 that I felt overwhelmed is because, you know, this type of teenager period in time where you're completely fighting with your parents. There is this kind of 5 years, even 6 for me. I was really a rebel person. Really, like me and my mom, we are the same. We are warriors. So it's like boundaries, like don't step on my head. So we just divide each other for a big period. And in that moment, my guides appear, probably because I had to be by myself in that moment, because it was the only way. It was like, okay, we're gonna appear now because you are truly with yourself and you don't have any support at the moment. So we can come and just have completely the free soil to put our seeds inside you, because you are not hold from your mom anymore. We need to work with you in a singular way. And it's the first one that appeared was this Tibetan guy with the name Aryev. He appeared with the name Aryev that I never hear before this name. And I realized, I check online what is the meaning of Aryev, is wise, and he's the wisest one. And I never hear this name before. So when they're coming, the guides are coming with informations that you don't even have a clue, but you test, because I'm really scientific person. My father is scientific, for example. My mom is spiritual, my father is scientific, so I'm in between. I'm really scientific. I want to prove everything. And when I see that it's truly that the information that is coming is something that I don't have any clue, and they're coming with an information that is exactly what it is, I say, okay, this is the proof that there is really something more. So my mom now is close to me again, like we are like best friends now after this period of detaching from each other that was necessary to create my identity. And now we just live the same things, the same from the heart. We live the same kind of process, inner processes, but with different shapes. So we were talking yesterday about probably we choose each other in this lifetime to, as mother and daughter, to be forced to share until the end of her days. I hope not to die before her, it's just like a natural thing, but to share each breath, each experience deeply as sister, mother and daughter, daughter and mother, incredible like aligned soul that they have to grow up together in this lifetime. So yeah.
That's so beautiful. Love that. Thank you so much for that. And I really think that it's everything in our life is happens for a reason, right? And the universe is bringing whether your mom or you or whoever, all of us together for a reason. And I really have a strong belief in that as well. Yeah. So because your experience is probably something that is extraordinary. So can you share a little bit of your experience when you explain to others what others was responding? How did you explain to them, maybe your friends or those surrounding you before that this something that probably is that something they will be accepting easily, or how did you overcome any challenges?
So the luckiest thing of my life, and I really feel as a blessed, it's my childhood was fully bright. Like I didn't have traumas until 18 years old, because my family was really like the most joyful one. Really, we just take a piece of each other constantly. My parents always support me in every decision. I did the art academy, and most of the parents like, why are you doing the art academy when you're not gonna have a job in the future? You know what I mean? My parents like, do whatever you like, you will figure out is your life. So good, like whatever comes out is the right thing. So this thing allow me always to express myself like completely and fully with the strength and the confidence, but not the confidence. Well, sometimes I was arrogant when I was young. I was a little bit bossy because I was so sure of myself, so confident. Sometimes was going in the other direction, a little bit annoying. But I was a natural leader with people because I was so sure of myself and so creative that I was creating always this situation of magic and creativity. So I always expressed what I was passing through. At the beginning of the journey of my guides appearing to me at 23 years old, I didn't talk with others too much about it, but not because I was scared about it, but because it was something that before I had to understand by myself. And I start to share with the people that I trusted the most, because I was like, okay, I don't know how the people can take it, and maybe some people, they don't even want to hear about it. You know what I mean? It's like there are stories that people they're too far, that they don't have the space and the capacity to listen without a judgment. So at the beginning I was like, it was not my major thing to share this story, it was really private. But at some point I start to share, and I realized that the people that they love me, they always support me whatever I was passing through. And actually I realized little by little there was this massive curiosity, because it's something that doesn't happen too much to people to have this kind of experiences, you know what I mean? So I've seen this curiosity, this questions that people question, but now and how you, so they were inspired to find their own guides and to connect with them. I call it imaginary friends, to be completely neutral. And coming from the world of animation, I always take a piece of them and they take a piece of me. They are not serious at all, these figures. But I felt the urge after a massive surgery that I had in December. I've got a tumor last year on my left ovary. And coming out of the surgery, exactly the moment I was a little bit like under drugs still, but I think I was beyond this world in a way. I came out of the surgery, and one of my guides, the second most important, is this Oriental woman, warrior woman, like Mulan of Disney. She said to me, Kris, you can do whatever you like in this lifetime. It's time to embrace your mission, your higher mission. And when I was like, what is that? Like, and behind my head, in my thoughts, there was always this thing of public speaking. And I was like, okay, let's do it. Because my worries was like, how can I survive with it? How can I pay my bills? How can I eat bread? You know what I mean? How can I survive with it? It's a long journey. It's too far away. I don't know how to do it. But everything just started to align because I want to talk about this story to people. I felt there was something that people could be massively inspired to find their own guides, because everybody can do it. So I just basically jump on my when I had the vision of being on the stage after the surgery. One of my friends said, Kris, do you want to come to my festival and you can do whatever you like? And there were guests to jump on the stage and talk about their experiences, whatever, coming, like musicians. And I was like, this is my occasion. I start to prepare my first public speech of 1 hour. It was my first experiment. And some of the people, they were like completely like this. I tremble a lot with my Italian English, but doesn't matter, it was the first experience. And when I jumped down of the stage, I felt this is what is my mission. I felt uplifted. I felt some kind of wings coming out. And people coming to me, where are your social media? I want to follow you and I want to understand. I want to know more about this. And there I had, in February, I had the clear message that I had to do this as something mainly in my life, something that has to be the core, because this kind of concept, they need to be spread completely to go beyond what the society allow people to think about. I want really to transmit that everything is possible if we put on the plate our psychic powers and our talents, and we follow our mission in life. Everything is possible. Really, a new world where people heart-centered and fully in their power, they can create beauty around us, all and only beauty. That not that the darkness disappear, but the darkness that will be expressed, it will be the usual, the normal darkness, the one that when your grandparent die, you suffer and it's normal. But there are not induced traumas from fear to interact with people, fear to take a decision, fear of other people, or violence or something. It will be way less this darkness, because if we are in our own power, we feel unconditional love to ourselves and to the rest of the world. And we need to see this new humanity. And it's so close. I feel it. At the other side of this darkness of the world is happening. And what is all the darkness that is showing up in this moment, because we are called to see our darkness inside. So many ancient cultures say that a stage of joy, sharing, unconditional love, it's just behind this corner. And we had in this weekend the example of it. If we think about the humanity not long ago, we were barbarian. We were killing each other because you don't give me the onion that I need to cook tonight. So now we are in this stage, and we're witnessing an incredible stage of the humanity where we will go back to be constantly in the heart, in this massive unconditional love, to embrace this new humanity that is about to happen, that is fully in their psychic and physical talents. And I want to make manifest this reality with my little work, like whatever comes without any expectation, but my vision is really clear and I can see it, and it's happening, it's already here.
Wow, that's such a beautiful sharing, Kris. It got me into tears just listening to you, because that's just the ultimate goals of everyone. The world can be so much better, so much beautiful with just the vision that you're having there. Oh, I love that. Thank you so much for what you're doing. And I really appreciate you for standing out to share this message, because that's a message that's so important. And even though just one tiny message, one person at a time, that's how we, like what Katie was saying, multiply, right?
Yes.
The one small message and it multiply into a lot bigger. And I really love what you're doing there. And I know that Kris, as mentioned earlier, Kris Donoma, it's the name that you adopt in a later stage in your life. And I did have a brief look through about the name. Do you want to share with others who are listening where did this name come from?
Absolutely, I would love to. It's my jam. So this name appeared in a way to me. How long ago? I feel really old now saying that it's like 7 years ago. Probably. It was like, 6 years ago. This name came to me. I was an animator at the time. I was living in Italy, in Turin, one of the best city in Italy for creativity. There is cinema, animation, poetry, circus, whatever is creative is there. And I was working for Disney, for this small production for Disney Italy. And I had my little big team of superheroes, like 16 people that they were contributing to create the cartoon that I created when I was 22 years old, as like South Park, but Italian. So really with criticism of the reality and what we are experiencing in Italy. There is so much to talk about. And I remember that I had this, I had to participate to this contest that was created from the national TV in Italy to create a cartoon that was comedy cartoon and with a big message. And I always felt really connected to the earth. So I want to create a story that was actually really like autobiographic in a way. Of this little girl that was Native Americans. I feel really connected with Native Americans since when I was 3 years old. I felt, okay, let's create this cartoon that talks about this little girl of 11 years old in the last land on the planet where is green. There are trees, there is nature. All the other parts of the world, they are completely taken from the society, and they're like, there is the city of the wood, there is the city of the concrete, there is the city of paper. But the last green place, this little girl has to protect it from the people attacking this place. And she's talking with the elements, she's talking with spirits. So it was clearly myself with this feather in the hair that I always put. So I was like, okay, this is me. I was like, okay, let's search for a name for this character, right? And I start to search the names of Native Americans, like girls, like women, like names for women. And I was searching, and boom, this name came just like a wave in my, like a smash in my face, like I felt like I couldn't even breathe when I felt this energy of this name, Donoma. Name that is really grounded, really like, boom, I'm in my power and I'm connected. It was like literally the feeling of a mountain. That is one of my symbols, my favorite symbols. And I checked the name, what is the meaning, and it's the side of the sun, or the woman in front of the sun. And I feel really connected with the sun instead of the moon. Like for my childhood, I feel like really born in the light. And I always brought this like bubbling energy and really funny things and jokes and crazy situations. So I felt like this is her name first, like of the character, because it's exactly that, but this is my name. It's not only yours, little character, it's gonna be my name too. I cannot the name decide for me. I didn't decide. The name came to me. It's like, this is you. Me, it's you. You, it's me. So like, let's put it wherever. Like for now on, when you connect with spiritual people, that they can understand you in about the guides or about all the incredible experience you had in that field, you will introduce yourself only as Donoma. So I remember when I came in Australia, I started to say to spiritual people, like people that I connect in that way, that I was only Donoma. And be called only as Donoma, I felt recognized in my invisible powers. So I remember when I put my feet in Australia for the first time, I was in Perth and I was searching for Aboriginal people to interact with. And I remember that the first person that I've seen, the first Aboriginal person that was balanced, because you know that Aboriginal people, unfortunately, now they're like at the street drunk and stuff. I met this shaman after only 2 weeks, an incredible human being. Like I was drove from a blue dragonfly in the middle of the city, and it's a symbol that for me is really important. She was looking at me, like, do you want to come? It's like, where do you want to bring me? And she started to fly and just turned the corner, and I've seen this incredible Aboriginal guy playing the didgeridoo in the middle of the street in this center, like our creative center, and I connect with him, and I was like super naive and super stupid, like, excuse me, are you an Aboriginal person? And he looked at me like, what do you want from me? I was like super like, oh my goodness, if I think now about it, it's just like a cartoon, literally. And I say, can I ask you, can I talk with you? I need to connect. I feel that I have to connect with you. And it's like, yeah, but let me finish to play before. So I offered him a coffee, and he activated me completely, all the things that I even knew about myself at the time, and was the first person that I say, what's your name? And I said, my name is Donoma. And was the first person that identified me only with my higher self manifestation. And that connection brought me to a deeper concept of Donoma, a deeper experience of what it's my shamanic side. So we were hanging out every week, 1 day per week. I was putting my feather in my ear, and I was preparing my best shamanic dress, and no makeup at all, only truth on my face. And we were going in the nature, and he was activating my psychic powers, and we were talking about the existence and the world and the destiny of the humanity. And from that moment, I started to introduce myself to people with that name, with that energy, remembering the energy of what me and this incredible human being, his name is Brent, we experienced for 2 months, and never left me, that energy that we felt together. And this energy is stored in the name Donoma.
I really think that this is just amazing. And then I don't know what to say, because I can imagine you stepping onto the land of Australia, and you are bringing towards to him, and from there's so many different missions that you are on. And then I love what you're doing for this group of Aboriginal people. And then I love that you're actually trying to do the work for the nature. And yeah, I did look at your name, connecting the modern and the nature. Is that what that means, Donoma?
Yeah, exactly. In between the two words, like we don't need to exclude one of the two, because I think if every time the humanity go in the side of creating technology, as Atlantis a long time ago, it's because we need to express ourselves through creativity. Technology is needed. It's not like, I don't believe that we have to get back to nature and that's it. And don't have the tools that we create. But we have to create the tools in a way that we don't destroy the earth with mining, for example, like the mines here in Australia. We are in the middle of the colonization here, and there's still exploitation of the earth because we are at the beginning. There are things under the soil that they're still there and we don't know. So instead of fracking the earth constantly and just create traumas on ourselves because we are disconnected from the nature, and this creates traumas and disconnection from to ourselves, just create a technology that can serve the earth and the humanity. So there are incredible projects with hemp. We can create the wheels of a car with hemp. We can, for example, there are so many projects about car created with compressed air that is consuming nothing. The batteries are still something that we have to throw at some point. And it's terrible. Even the Tesla tried to create this kind of things, but there's still something that is going to be stored on the planet and is going to create a massive pollution in the future. We have to really invest with our heart and with our connection on the earth. The earth has to be the compass, because we are the earth. And coming in Melbourne, I realized how much the people are disconnected from themselves, distracted from everything, like junk food, I don't know, dating apps, phone, like, and many things like going out, taking drugs, pills and stuff. Is because we are not connected with the earth. We are not connected with our own nature. So if we are in this, Native Americans always said, we are closing boxes, right? So they said when the human being create boxes to live in, their illness start, because they were moving themselves with their teepees from a place to another, following the rhythm of the nature, always have new ideas, new visions, because they were changing the landscape. So we are creating boxes, because they are boxes, where we are fully, the thoughts start to get more and more, and our monkey mind gets more and more, because literally the symbol outside is a box. So we start to suffocate ourselves with our own life as human beings, but we can connect and talk, speak with animals, with the trees, with the sky, with the clouds. This is about shamanism, but in a really grounded way, not like woo-woo stuff. Like, I'm really grounded person, and I'm really scientific at the same time. I love experiments. Like, before you trust what I say, you have to experience on them, on yourself. I can give to you the tools and I do experiments. But it's something really real what I'm talking about. It's not like escaping from the reality because this reality, you don't like it. And a lot of people, unfortunately, in the spiritual environments, there is a lot of escaping from the reality. A real shaman, and I met a shaman from Amazon, he said to me, Kris, shamanism is about being here, present. Be present for the people around you fully. Don't go there with imagination. Be here. As much you are here, as much everything will start to communicate with you beyond what you can even expect. So I forgot what was the question.
Yeah, the last question that I asked you is about connecting the two together. But I really love what you're sharing. I can see your passion. I can see that you're speaking from the bottom of your heart. And you can see the mission, and I love that what you're doing. It's going to be a lot of work, that because like you say, the industrialization, the car, the technologies, it's need a lot of work in order for us to go to that, but that's possible. And I love that you are towards that direction, and thank you so much for what you're doing, Kris. I know that I got lots of questions to ask because from your bio, from your introduction, I'm so curious about what you're doing, but I'm very well aware of the time. So where can people find you online, Kris, if they want to, or they are very curious at what you're doing? I know that you are also a tattoo artist. I did see a lot of beautiful works that you're doing, and I heard a lot of testimonials and good stuff about you as well. So where can they find you online, Kris?
So for the two section, like tattoos, I'm really, I try. I'm not really good with social. I have to improve, but I'm really present on Instagram. That is the major like tool for tattoo artists. So you can find me on Donoma Tattoo, and you can see the type of tattoos that I'm doing. So there are shamanic ones, so literally I follow the energy that comes from the body of people, and it just create the drawing itself through the process of healing. Or I can do figurative ones. If the one that is shamanic and improvised is too much, I can do even the typical ones. So this is the way to find me. At the moment, physically, I'm in Melbourne, so it's about people close to me physically. So I can be open to do it in Melbourne. I'm gonna travel in the future. I go to festivals and stuff, but at the moment, I'm in Melbourne to do it physically on people. And for the archetypal mentorship and helping people to find their psychic powers and get back to the heart. This is another thing that I really happy to say. I help people to get back to their immortal side. So my future coaching group is gonna be Activate Your Immortal Self, because it's what is beyond this physical body and our powers. They can find me on Facebook, on my page, or on my personal profile, Kris Donoma, Kub, and on my website, easy, krisdonoma.com. You can find the way to connect with me for a free call, to have maybe a one-to-one mentoring. And I hope to be fast enough to start this group, because I really like to create a community where people can talk about things that they're not used to talk with people, like their powers, their psychic powers, their experiences with the invisible, or even with the nature, like communicating with nature, all the things that there are about communication with the invisible and the connection with the immortal self of us. So these are the two ways that people can connect with me. And I'm really happy to receive. I'm at the beginning, honestly, of the coaching side. So I'm really experimenting, like with people, like what can work and what cannot. So I'm offering really good prices and really big discounts, because for me at the moment is a moment to experience too. I have a lot of tools, a lot of knowledge, but I want to put it in practice. So I have already some clients, but I want to amplify the range of clients. So if you feel like pulled from these concepts and want to empower yourself and the parts of yourself that is invisible from the others, I'm the right person. So, yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to include the link that you mentioned, the Instagram, the website, in the description, and also in the video as well. So those of you who are listening, you have the urge to find out more about maybe yourself, or the things that probably you haven't really tapped into and thought about before, make sure you get reach out to Kris. So I know that, Kris, that you have been moving around. You're moving from Italy, and then to Perth, to Broome, and now to Melbourne. So what's next for you? Is that all from your spiritual guidance, or you're not really sure where will your next move going to be?
It's a tricky question in this moment, because like government is not making the things easy for me about the visa.
Mm-hmm.
So if it's for my guides, they say to me to go back in Italy as soon as possible and just maintain the connection through internet wherever I was. But they say me, you're needed in your place, not necessarily Italy, but Europe. At the same time, there is this doubt for me to stay here because I'm still growing. As this weekend, for example, the community is fantastic. So it's like maybe a little bit down the line, I can go back home. So now I have to apply basically for a student visa and see what's happened, because a lot of my friends, they are rejected with the student visa after 4 years here. So I literally let the universe, the government in this case, decide for me. I will apply anyway to stay 2 years more and just connect more with you beautiful people and the community in Melbourne, because I think there is still a lot for me to learn here and create my new professional road, like a journey. But I have to see what's happened. So I'm gonna know if I will stay for longer period of time, probably in August. Like in August, I will know my destiny. So I will bring my gift wherever I do online. So if you want to connect with me, even if I'm in Europe, fine. The vision of the future for sure is go back to Europe at some point, because my family is there. I have a little incredible brother of 11 years old. I want to live close from him, and my family is beautiful. I don't have to escape from them. And my vision is having a land in the future and invite all the incredible superheroes that I met in life, and just create workshops, create public speaking, create a situation where people can hang out and create a community and meet each other, and just create this incredible spider web of incredible human beings all around the world. So to start to have this glimpse of what can be, I have a friend in Ireland, my incredible friend Maura, that she has already a land there and she wants to create exactly the same thing. So I will start to contribute with her to her project, to understand a little bit more what is about, and create my own reality in Italy. So you are all welcome to come one day in Italy, eating the best food, drinking the best wine, see the best people, like theater and stuff and creativity, because I promise that I will have the space for it. So whatever is the people coming from. Yeah.
I love that vision of yours and can't wait to see that in reality. And then I believe that the universe have your back. You know where you're going for sure. Thank you so much for sharing that, Kris. And one last question that I'd like to ask is that what is the one piece of advice that you would like to give to other women out there?
I truly believe that there is a wild side in every woman that is really similar to a wolf, and is really made of boundaries, is made of self-esteem, is made of unique choices, it's made of confidence and feminine power energy, that it's capable of creation and intuition, and at the same time to receive, and at the same time to protect this energy from the outer world, to spread this energy in the outer world. So I suggest to all the women, whatever is the outer world that you are experiencing, to trust in your intuition, trust in your womb, because your womb is your second brain, and whatever the womb say is the truth. Connect with this and connect with that and follow your dreams. Whatever is the vision is not too big, and follow always your intuition, because we are master of it just because we are women. So whatever you want to bring in the world or to yourself, it's worth it to be.
Oh, beautiful sharing. Make me want to cry listening to you.
Mission complete. Emotions.
Oh, I really thoroughly enjoyed our conversation, and like Kris is just she got so many wisdom that she shared, and then I believe that she got lots to share as well. And you are definitely on a the path that is much needed, public speaking, to spread the words, to spread the message. The world need to hear your message, and I really appreciate you being here today, Kris, sharing your story, sharing your mission and your work with everyone who are listening. Thank you so much for your time, and I'm looking forward for you to maybe come on again in the future to share a lot more about your journey. Thank you so much for your time, Kris.
I appreciate it. And if I have to speak for hours, I'm always on board. So whenever you want to do it again. But thank you so much to have me with you. I want to say that as you see this light in me is because you have this light inside yourself. I'm only the mirror at the moment, and what you are doing and what you're bringing, giving the voice to women to be full in their power and just show up. Like, it's time to show up, and you are giving an incredible tool. You put all your effort to make this happen, and this is not a creation, it's a co-creation. And I appreciate you so much and what you're bringing to the world too, because it's something that uplift many women. As me today, I feel full in my power because you give me the capacity and the professionality to ask the right question to me, to be completely open and just be seen. So you see me and I see you, and this is something really precious that I will not forgive. So thank you.
Thank you so much, Kris. I really want to say a big thank you to you for being here again. Like you say, the universe is it's there, and that's how we get connected. I believe we are all connected for a reason, and thank you so much once again, and all the best for the futures.
Thank you. For you too.
Thank you. Bye, everyone.